If Jackson Pollock was Betty White, best artist alive.
Yeah, exactly.
Best artist alive. He faked being Betty White as a performance piece for 90 years. Best artist alive.
Another Waiting to Dry exclusive.
Waiting to Dry.
Welcome back, everybody, to Waiting to Dry.
Yeah.
We're some cool guys talking about cool stuff.
That's right. And this podcast is fact driven, so
Yep.
you know that's the truth.
Yep. Hard-hitting facts.
Yeah, we don't say things without knowing all the facts.
Never that. I'm Sergio Lopez.
Josh, lawyers, me.
What have you been up to these days?
Nothing much. Just, make in the words of Cardi B, I'm making money moves.
Yeah.
Just trying to stay busy, working on a bunch of shit in the background.
Nice.
So hopefully some bigger ideas can work out. But other than that, I'm just trying to work on doodles right now and flesh out ideas.
Mm-hmm. Just trying to get ready for the next show, kind of.
I have a show with Luna Rien in October.
Oh, okay.
So I'm hoping to start compiling enough references to paint, and then I have the idea already. I just need to work out it's like a central idea, and then I feel like with that I get like a few ideas off the bat that I'm like, all right, I'll do those. I like those, but then it's like I have to build on it and go into little corners of it that aren't necessarily I don't know yet, so it's that's where drawing and all that kind of shit goes into play.
Yeah.
Just kind of being a way. Oh fuck! I didn't realize Mello was right there. All right, Mello, quiet.
Mellow.
And that's the.
How dare you, sir?
Yeah, yeah. I had to kill him. Put him down. But yeah, I don't remember what I was saying, but yeah, stuff like that. Working out ideas. I feel like most people I think now, ideas kind of just pop into your head. They don't I don't know. At least that's how it seems like it works for me. So you just kind of have to be on the look for them.
Yeah.
So when they pop in, and then you have to be able to quickly write them down and.
Yeah, you really got to seize on them.
Yeah. And so it's nice having a smartphone because you just have a list on your memos or whatever the fuck the thing is.
Right.
I just put all my shit in there. But yeah, I'm just trying to tweak ideas and work out ideas, and it's weird how titles sometimes are I'll have an idea for a painting, and then I'll have a title for it, and then I'll build on that idea of the painting. So then I'm the title doesn't work anymore. So then I have to change the title, because then it seems like the title is a good way to steer a ship in a weird way. Do you know what I mean? So that's what I'm working on now. Yeah. It's a lot of I feel like I'm being stagnant. Probably am a bit as far as artwork is concerned, but yeah, it's all slow and steady, and then I'm going to be fucking balls to the walls or lips to the walls.
Sure. That's where my mind went to.
Whatever gender you are, to the wall. And then and then I'll be exhausted by the end of the year probably. And looking to just doodle again. So
Yeah, that's
probably-
the circle of life.
I should probably appreciate this moment more.
Yeah, yeah. How shows are. So you need to get on that.
But yeah, I don't know. Other than that, I got some stuff I'm working on, but
Some behind the scenes things.
yeah, I can't call it yet. And other than that, I don't know. Got back into Pokemon Go.
Oh, really? Which one's Pokemon? Is that the one where you go
Catch 'em
outside
all.
and catch them? Yeah.
Yeah. And
I've been painting a lot more lately these days.
nice.
Hey, this better late than never.
In or outdoors?
Both. Yeah, been working on a show for the local landscape gallery, Christopher Queen. So that's been painting a bunch of flowers.
Oh, yeah,
Not
so
something
those,
I've
I like those.
done a lot of. Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
Not something I've done a lot of, but I've been having a good time with them, and
For sure.
just doing some more plein air stuff with Vanessa. Been trying to get out and exercise more, so we're doing a lot of hiking and painting together.
Yeah.
But yeah, last week was weird for me because like I don't know if the time change has ever affected me as much as it did.
It was the time change that affected you think?
Partly, I mean, it was that night the time change. Like I wasn't able to sleep very well either. But no, it just somehow like screwed up the rest of my sleep schedule, and it just really threw me off for a while. Then like I just really had to catch up in the past few days. It's like not until like yesterday that I feel like normal.
Was
again.
it because you had to stay up late to catch 2020? And that really, the hour difference from when it used to come on to now?
Yeah, exactly. I was trying to catch Saturday Night Live on Sunday morning.
Is Barbara Walters still alive?
I think so.
Okay.
She was on that show The View for a while. I don't know if she's still on that. But
Well, she'll never die. She'll live in our hearts forever.
yeah, her and Betty White.
Yeah.
Is she still alive? I don't know. Okay, just making sure.
We'll know when Betty White dies. Yeah. I feel like it'll be a thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's probably true.
All the pictures, all the paintings of Betty White will come out. You know, everyone will paint her on Instagram.
Oh, right. Yeah, that's true.
You know, everyone will show pictures of when they met her, and
Yep.
it'll be a thing for sure.
Pictures of when they met Betty White. Huh?
Yeah.
It's probably one worth actually sharing.
Yeah. But yeah, we would know.
Yeah.
That's I feel like she's part of like I don't know what you would call that meme. No, it's not even like meme. It's like a internet culture. She's like
That's true.
she's like a big presence. I feel like on it
Yeah.
because people just love her.
When Chuck Norris dies, will people feel the same? That he's a big internet meme guy.
When Chuck Norris dies, we'll all be dead.
Yeah, that's true.
We'll be
He'll
dead.
take us all out with him.
If Chuck Norris is dead, we've been dead for weeks.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't even. God, it's weird when how these like there's. You ever think about that? How like some people just like seem to live on forever,
Oh, sure.
and then other people they just like die at like I don't know, like younger ages, whatever that may be.
Sure, yeah.
God, it's like Betty White. Some people die at like 50 of like old age, of like things from aging, right?
Yeah.
Not from like a car accident or anything, but
Right.
like, you know, something like that. But
Uh-huh. Well, like Screech, for example, just died of cancer.
right, yeah. But then Betty White lives a double life of him, like
Yeah.
twice as much life.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I don't know. And you got like kids that like you knew, like I knew like people in high school that died like either during high school or like right after high school, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And then you're like, fuck, they like, and then you're like, I think I'm going on, I graduated in 2004.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I'm like at like 18 years maybe since high school. So I'm like,
Okay.
I'm like double their life right now.
Yeah. Damn.
Fucking nuts. Goddamn. Shit is crazy.
Did you know anybody who died in elementary school?
The kid that took my lunch money, but
Yeah.
they never found his body, did they? Just kidding. No one took my lunch money. I'd fuck them up. You guys already know. High fives all around. No, not that I can think of now.
I remember, there was this kid, I think it was 5th or 6th grade. He died because he got like swept off one of the rocks at like Jenner or something like that.
Fuck.
Yeah.
That sucks.
I know. It was like a kid we knew too. Like we hung out with them. It was weird. Just like,
Damn.
that kid's not around anymore.
Damn. I don't even, do you even like, can you even comprehend that as a kid?
Not really.
I feel like that would make like, it wouldn't hold like if you were an adult and you heard that story, like the sadness or whatever you'd probably feel for that versus like a child seems like it's like so much different. Like the perspective an adult has versus a child. It just, you can't grasp death at that moment.
Yeah, that was like
The permanence of it.
Yeah, because I think that was like the first person I knew, like, well, like that, who died.
Right.
I was just like, oh, that's what death is.
Yeah. It's just gone forever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Damn, well,
Happy times.
shout out to him.
Yeah.
There's always that like quote. So there's a quote about dying twice, you know?
That's true.
Is that Shakespeare? Who the fuck says that?
Shakespeare.
I don't remember where it's like you die once and then you die a second time when like the last time
Somebody says your name. Yeah. I don't know who said that, but yeah.
Yeah. Same in that movie Coco from Pixar is pretty much that sentiment.
Oh, yeah.
A little different, but
Those Pixar movies, that most of the, I feel like most of the plots center around some sort of saying like that. Like somebody heard that saying, like, let's make a movie out of that.
I mean, it makes sense in a weird way. I don't know. I feel like those like weird cliches can be done into really good art if you, I don't know, if you build a good story around it.
Yeah.
Rather than if you have, you know, a live, laugh, love fucking wooden carving thing on your wall.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, yeah, it's like the cliche itself is so fucking horrible sounding, but you know, put some depth in that bitch, and all of a sudden you're like, that shit made me cry.
Right? Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. But yeah, that's cool. So when's the show on that?
Beginning of May, I want to say. Yeah.
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 Nice. January, March.
A couple of months.
I'm just trying to figure out because shit might be open by then.
Yeah. Might
Yeah,
be.
We might be in the club pretty soon.
Yeah.
Pocket bottles full of bub.
Burp.
I got what you need.
Oh, yeah.
If you're into showing love. I think those are the lyrics, at least somewhere around there.
Let's look it up.
So come give me a hug and end up getting rubbed. Beautiful, beautiful words by a beautiful man. Yeah, that's exciting. I'm supposed to go to Amanda Lynn's doing a show in Voss Gallery soon with I think there's some other people. So
okay, nice.
I'm supposed to go see that. So that'll be interesting because they're doing like I think a limited number people or some shit like that. I don't know exactly what, but
Oh yeah. Oh cool. Will that be like the first art show you've gone to since lockdown?
I think I've seen art.
Yeah. I mean, I've been to galleries, but like an actual reception kind of thing.
I think so, which I'm pretty excited about. I think it's going to underwhelm me because It's like I know what an how fun an art show can be.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be like, ooh, this is not as fun. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it'll fucking maybe it'll. I mean, just being around a group of people, I'll probably be pretty excited.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that'll be interesting. But yeah, I'm hoping that shit starts opening up soon.
Is it a solo show or other people showing?
I think it's a group show.
Oh, okay.
But I'm not 100% sure.
There might be more people. Don't get called a PC again, though.
I don't like it. That's now a compliment. So.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Somebody said it to you, wink, wink. You go, oh, I'll listen. Hey.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah. Other than that, you guys still going to Colorado, right?
Yeah.
When's that again? I'm so fucking bad at this shit.
Mid-June through.
Oh yeah, one
mid-July.
time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Another cool thing that I got invited to do was Jerry's Artorama is doing a thing where it's basically like a social media influencer.
Nice.
So yeah, I'll get paid to hawk their wares in a way.
Nice.
But yeah, it's kind of cool where you kind of just do social media or YouTube stuff for them. Just talk about the products, what you like and don't like about them. So nice little chunk of money for doing that. So that'll be cool when that actually goes through.
Nice.
So
Good for you.
Yeah, get a little more money, more consistent money. That's like one of the hardest things to find for me.
Yeah.
So yeah, that'll be pretty cool to do that because it'll make me think more about like what to share on social media that's more, I guess, useful to the average artist, I guess.
What do you mean?
Like, I don't know, rather than just like sharing your art, and it's just like, all right, that's like the same thing over and over again in a way. Whereas with this, you can, I guess, be a little bit more in depth with like talking about materials or whatever you want to talk about with this stuff. It'll kind of, because it's like more long form, right? If I'm doing a YouTube video, there has to be kind of a little bit of a thing to keep people actually interested in watching in it.
Right.
So, yeah, it'll be interesting to think about, like, I guess being more productive in like sharing things on social media, because that'll be like part of the job. So
For sure.
So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what develops out of that.
Nice. That's what's up.
Yeah.
Jerry's Artorama is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of the good websites out there, I feel like.
Yeah.
That's cool though.
Yeah.
Nice. So do you want to talk about some stuff or what?
Sure.
So I do have something I wanted to bring up, which was I listened to this. I don't know if you ever listened to Very Bad Wizards.
I've heard of it, but I don't think I've ever listened.
It's a podcast between a scientist and a philosopher. They're both like college professors of, I don't know, whatever colleges they are. I can't remember right now, and I'll never remember, to be honest.
Yeah.
I'll never fucking remember. But they did had this podcast recently. Let me see if I can find the title in case anyone wants to go listen to it. It's called Dream Theater. And I've listened to it twice because leave it up to two people that aren't in the art world to have an actual good conversation about art, because fuck art podcasts. Goddamn, someone please help them talk about like shit that's not boring as fuck or have an opinion on art. But so one of the things that was interesting was that there's this there's this guy named Eric Hole.
Okay.
Who's a neuroscientist, who they actually bash neuroscientists a lot.
Oh, really?
On the show. But they talked about a paper he released, and it was in regards to dreams.
Okay.
And kind of how dreams and art seem to have these like a similar, and it's like a study and then an opinion attached to that. So his opinion is that dreams serve a purpose, and then he thinks that art also serves a very similar purpose or the same purpose. Mm-hmm. Which was, God, I'm not necessarily going to want to go into his paper, but it's just a lot of like the topics that it brings up I thought were super interesting. But it has to do with like how his theory is that dreams act as like a way for your brain to kind of work through situations that are abstract to you as a human, or not just to you as a human being, but to you as the person.
Okay.
If that makes sense. So like the idea of like you falling would be something that you weren't probably, that you probably haven't experienced, right? At least to like the scale that a dream would make you fall.
Okay.
And so it would like almost make you feel like you would know what to do in that situation.
Okay.
Would be kind of his theory.
Oh, all right.
So it's like this. So his theory is that like art and dreams kind of serve this purpose of adding almost like I don't know, vagueness or abstraction to a situation in a way that can allow you to, as the viewer or person who ingests the art or dream, to kind of work through how you would interact in that situation or whatever, like just to deal with an abstract thing. And so I thought it was super interesting. He makes a big, a big point that he tries to make is the difference between art and entertainment, which I thought was, it's something I've been like thinking about since listening to the podcast. Just the difference, not saying that it's one or the other, but saying that like there's things that are entertainment and then there's things that are art, and trying to kind of pinpoint what the difference is. God, I'm kind of forgetting exactly how he worded it, but I thought it's one of those things where like, you know, like what's that fucking show people watch with the like nerds, but it's all like dumb shit. You know what I'm talking about?
Big Bang Theory.
Big Bang Theory. There you go.
Yeah.
It's like Big Bang Theory is like, it's not art. It's just entertainment. You know what I mean? It's like, that's what the purpose it serves.
Yeah.
Obviously art can be entertaining, but like, there seems to be like
there's a different purpose to it beyond just entertainment. Sure.
Right. And so, and the purpose is, so one of the things they talk about is like how, I mean, I know I always am talking about storytelling, but like how that's kind of how art used to be perceived, like done back in the day, was like, it was almost like, you know, like myths and legends, for instance. So like, it was like this idea of like telling these stories with these abstract characters in a way that would not only just like entertain people, but have them think about good and evil or whatever, yada, yada, yada. What you would do in maybe a situation where you had to face something or whatever. And then we also have like sci-fi nowadays. So like, it's like the idea of like, you don't have to tell the story. Like you don't have to tell the story in space for the story to be like understood. You know, like a lot of like sci-fi is like based around like moral questions or things like that. Right?
Sure. Yeah.
So it's like, why do you even need the fucking things in space? But it's like, there's something of value to that, like abstraction or whatever, to like the disconnection of you.
Right.
And the story that like,
that makes sense for Marvel movies too. These like superheroes who are
right.
Like we just finished watching Wanda Vision not too long ago.
It was a great show.
Yeah, it's just basically like a mother dealing with grief for the most part, or
Right.
or like a partner loss of, and then the way they decide to deal with it was like, oh, she creates this entire world around her.
Right. She ignores it.
Yeah.
And then she also like hurts those around her.
Right.
Who aren't necessarily at fault or who aren't at fault for her. Yeah. But yeah, it's like these ideas that kind of come through, and there's more of like an acceptance of it, and not necessarily like there's almost like how do I explain it? I've been trying to think before I heard this podcast. I've been trying to figure out like the importance between vagueness and being like in the details specifically in paintings, like how did we talk about this recently?
I'm not sure.
I'm not sure if I was talking to you or someone else, but like the idea that vagueness allows us all to kind of connect to it, and then being hyper detailed or specific adds legitimacy. So like a detail of like specific is kind of like for instance Kendrick Lamar, right? Like I grew up in very poor neighborhoods, and there's like the slang you hear on like YouTube and people who like listen to rap music and think they know what the fuck they're talking about, and like hood shit and like hood lingo that's just like it's just its own thing. And so when you listen to a Kendrick Lamar album, he has these like great songs with great themes and all that, right? But then he has these specific moments that are so specific to growing up in the hood that you're like, oh, like he's not full of shit. Like what he's saying is honest.
Right.
And so there's this legitimacy that comes from that, as well as like the vagueness of the overall story he's telling that we all can connect with without having to actually grow up in the hood, right? So like it's like that, like, and so if you think about it in painting, there's those good things about hyper rendering and showing like skillful technique, I would say also falls into that. And then there's and it also subject matter, and then there's like the vagueness of like mood, right, through like color and those things. So and for some reason, like color palettes, and I mean the list goes on, but it's just this idea of like why people connect in a broader term versus like the legitimacy you get from like certain details you add to a piece, and just kind of trying to play, like not play around, but more like flesh out that idea and think about how you can pinpoint how that's used and how to use it, and maybe newer ways that you haven't seen being used, and see if you can incorporate that into your work. Fuck. How did we get there?
Oh, you got hood tendencies.
What was that?
You got hood tendencies.
But yeah, so it's like, so I would highly recommend everyone listen to this podcast, but
yeah, it sounds interesting. I'll check it out.
but yeah, there's it's an interesting take, and one of the things I really liked about what they said, I don't think it was that long of a point, but it was this idea of everyone having a line between good and bad art.
Okay.
And the idea that like no one's line has to match up, but that you should kind of understand that there is a line we have each of us have in determining whether art is good or bad. Okay. And understanding that line fluctuates based on the more knowledge you get, the more experiences you have, the more understanding of arts you have. And so, yeah, and I just thought that was like a really good point, especially since like I still feel like it's so tough to pull out a reason why someone, like, it's so tough for people to say they don't like art. Like they don't like this art.
Like a specific piece of art.
Yeah. Especially the further along I feel like you get. Like if it's like a person that doesn't know anything about art, they're like, oh, this shit sucks.
Right.
And it's like, all right, but like, I mean, you know, the further along, the more it feels like a political answer people are saying rather than an actual opinion. You know, it's like they don't want to step on like the toes of people because someone somewhere said that this art is supposed to be good, and they don't want to be like, no, it's not. It sucks ass. So they just don't have an opinion. They don't have a line. They just pretend that everything is good always. Yeah.
For you, how wide is that line for you of like between good and bad art? Like, is it pretty well defined for you?
I think so. I mean, I feel like if you put like 100 paintings in front of me, it's not necessarily a genre or whatever. I'd be like, I like this. I don't like that. I think that's good. I think that sucks. I think that's good. I think that sucks. Like, even within an artist, I probably can go like, I like that work by that work. I don't like that. Don't like that. Like that. Like that. Do you know what I mean? It's like, or like even maybe like medium shit. Like, this is all right. Whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
how much would you chalk that up to like personal taste though? Like especially between an artist or within an individual artist group of work.
Well, I think almost all art is based around like a majority of it is taste, but palettes can change, right?
Sure.
I mean,
but I guess that's why it gets hard sometimes. Like,
well, you don't have to stick to your fucking palette. Like, you don't have to be like, well, I didn't like fucking blue cheese last year, so I don't like it this year. It's like you can revisit blue cheese and realize, oh no, now for some reason I think this shit's delicious. It's still like stubbornness to be like, I said it sucked, so forever I think it sucks. You know what I mean? Like, even shit you might think is good. For instance, like there might be music you listen to that you're like, wow, that's fucking awesome, and then listen to it years later and think it's trash. I was they made the same point about pop music, but I had the same point. I was talking to MJ about like a while ago about how like pop music ages so badly, and it's all because it's like based around like cleverness. You know what I mean? And you could see it within art, like when there's these clever trends that happen and everyone kind of like flocks to it and it becomes the thing, and then you look back and then you're like, oh, that shit is like overdone cheesiness because it's all based on clever rather than good art. You know what I mean? So your taste can change. You know what I mean? But forever, I'll love a fair corn dog. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's like I think that's the bad idea, is like the rigidness on what you think good and bad is. But rather understanding that like good art can be something when you're young and then by the when you're old, you're like, that shit was like super hyper emotional when I was a teenager and I thought that was good, but I think it's over the top and trash now or something. I don't know. And knowledge of shit might change your mind. But I mean, taste is complicated because I feel like if I look at a painting, my taste is also trying to figure out what the intention of the artist is, and figuring out if I think that is interesting or valid or whatever. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's a part of my taste of why I would like a painting or not.
Right.
So it's not just style and execution or something like that. Although I do think those are important.
Right.
I think intention is also very important when it comes to artwork. I don't know if that helps.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess the difficulty is like when you make that like definitive statement of this art sucks or this art's awesome, and like when you, especially if you say that or make that known to the artist, it's like that's what they hear and that's what it gets stuck within their mind. It's like, oh, okay, this person just thinks my art sucks or whatever. It's like, but then there's not usually the chance to like talk to that person years later and be like, oh, actually, I do like that piece of art now. I guess it's hard to like make that distinction sometimes for one piece of art where it can change even between the person who made that first statement and the second one, where it's like,
Are you I'm a little confused. Like, are you saying like if someone gives you that feedback, like the artist? Well, I mean, that's a whole different. I mean, my opinion of if art is good or bad, I'm not gonna like go and like seek out the artist and be like, your art fucking sucks. Do you know what I mean? Like,
sure,
that's not what I'm gonna do. If someone does that, I'm like, chill out. Like, if I'm not gonna like, if I don't like fucking horseradish, I'm not going to go to the fucking producer of it and be like, fuck you guys, your shit sucks.
Yeah.
I just don't eat it.
Right.
And then if someone's eating horseradish around me and they're like, you want some of this? I'm like, no, I think that shit sucks, or I think it's nasty, or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't say it sucks. I think it's nasty.
Yeah.
That's the end of the conversation. If they go, oh, I love horseradish, I'm like, for sure.
Yeah.
The fuck? Like, I don't care.
Right.
Or like, good, like that's your taste. Like, but it's not unless it feels like, I mean, unless I bought work from the artist and then it turned out to be shitty, maybe then I would say it, but it doesn't really, I don't see how that would happen.
Right.
But yeah, but I don't, as far as like feedback, like direct feedback of people being like, I don't like your work. Then and to me, that's like, relax. Even though I like talk a lot of shit on this podcast, I'm not talking to the person. I'm just putting out my opinion. Do you know what I mean? Like,
right.
Subway dude, whatever the fuck his name is.
Sure.
I don't know. I couldn't find him on Instagram by typing his name if I wanted to. Like, I have no idea who he is.
Oh, really?
I just know he's the Subway dude.
Yeah.
Even like that shit that happened was because it was on a page that I followed, not his page. I don't know his fucking page.
Yeah.
I don't know him.
Yeah.
It's just me giving my opinion to someone else, not him.
Yeah.
If he reacts because he saw that thing, maybe like don't read all the comments or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, but yeah, I don't know. At the end of the day, like, you shouldn't react to negative comments on like social media anyways. You should probably just delete and block, or unless you can like react, unless you're a person who thinks you can react to it in like a level-headed, I don't know.
Yeah, which he has proved he has not been able to do that.
I don't even give a fuck about that guy. But just in general, like for anyone listening, it's like if you're like someone's coming at you with like negative feedback, I don't know, depending on who the person is, probably just ignore them. I do it all the time.
Sure.
It's like ignore, block, because it's just like, if you start getting that shit, you realize how much you hyper focus on the negative shit.
Sure. Yeah.
It just wastes your fucking time at the end of the day. So yeah, but yeah. That being said, like I don't think having an opinion is the equivalent of telling the person your opinion. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, it does.
Like, especially when it comes to art, when it comes to something as like vague as taste, or, subjective as taste. So it's like, at that point, I'm not going to go and be like, I'm not going to go dig up Jackson Pollock and be like, you fucking suck.
Sure.
Or it could be fun.
Let's have a seance, guys.
But yeah, that's and even with like Jackson Pollock, I think a big part of why I don't like him is because I think his intentions weren't like, I think his intentions were to find a gimmick. At least that's what it feels like to me. Maybe I'm wrong. maybe I'll hear something that I'm like, oh, I didn't know that. Actually, that is interesting. And but I haven't heard that.
Right.
And I feel like we've had enough people on this podcast that know a lot more art history than I do, who have put in their 2 cents, and nothing has swayed me or seemed even slightly legitimate for why his artwork is any good.
Yeah. I feel like the more you know about him, the less you like him too.
Yeah.
So,
And I never liked him to begin with. So
Yeah.
it's like, all right, he was the booger picker at school, and now he's, I don't know, flinging shit at people or something. I don't know.
yeah.
But yeah, so like I think that's the difference. Is like I have a line of what I think is good and bad. Am I going to tell every artist that I think sucks, that they suck? No. Or that their art's no. I'm just going to like let them be. Because at the end of the day, they also might create something that I do like, and I don't want the that's another thing. It's like I think potential is really interesting when it comes to artists. Like if someone's not technically good, but I can see them working out interesting things, I'm like, oh
Yeah.
it'll be cool if that locks in and I think they can become really good.
Yeah, totally.
Or if they're technically good, but you see them kind of breaking away from maybe like the art student in them and trying to figure out what they want to create. Maybe you're like, oh, if that works out, they can become really good. So, but why would I like go to that person and be like, your shit's not good, or,
Right.
not good? It just seems like a distraction for them.
Yeah. Yeah, it totally could be.
Same with Subway Dude, though. His intentions, I don't think, are pure. That's why.
Right.
That's the only reason I voice my opinion. It's not because like
Like if he wasn't like doing that as like if he was actually honestly like sharing his process about it, I don't think anybody would, well, for one, probably people wouldn't like care that much about his work, but like if he did, at least there's like something there that you can't really like take away from him.
Yeah, even if he said like, "Oh yeah, this is like a video," it's not like
Right. Yeah. Or yeah.
it's
Just be
the way I
honest about
present
what
my
you're
work.
doing.
I obviously I don't paint it on the subway. Then to me, like I would gain much more respect for him saying that than to be just like
Your
your
hater.
negativity is doing you good. And I'm like, all right, man, fuck off.
Right.
I didn't even like go at you. I had my opinion on this page. I wasn't talking to you.
Right. Did he get into your DMs too, or no?
Yeah, he went into my DMs like right when I wrote the shit.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
Well, they removed the post because of my fucking comment.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And it seemed like it was based on him, so he seemed
Oh, probably.
very mad. But
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah. It's funny. 'Cause I was just listening to, I don't know if you ever listened to the Milo Dennis podcast.
No, I've been wanting to, but I haven't yet.
Well, they talked a little bit about him on the last episode, and they're saying that he just like does that to like everybody who like
really?
talked negatively about him on in public, at least like people who like comment in other places. I guess he was like really going after Milo for all the things he was saying. It was like a long conversation they had too. It's just it's kind of pretty much all the same shit that he was saying to us, but like I don't know. I guess Milo just told him to be like, oh, like, just like, are you even doing that stuff? Like, he'd be very evasive about actually like
Answering questions
questions
Right.
about stuff. So it's just like, okay, well, this is just you're just trying to get away with something that like most artists see right through.
Yeah.
And it's like most of the people who follow him, I'm sure, aren't like super serious artists, I don't think.
No.
I don't know.
No, except for your idols are following him.
Yeah, that's true.
So,
He made sure I knew that.
okay, so that's Sergio.
Yeah. Well, any of my idols are can I relay a message through him to my idol?
But in the Bible, it says, "Thou shalt not have any false idols."
But they are truly my idols, though.
Wow. Thus saith the Lord. But yeah. But yeah, I don't know. trying to bring it back to that fucking thingy. But I just thought it was. You guys should definitely go give it a listen. I think there's a lot of like interesting conversation around art that I don't really get from podcast.
Okay.
So I enjoyed it a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, it's always interesting to hear other people talk about art besides comedians because they're the worst about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll definitely like hear that to get a different perspective on it.
They're the second worst, only to artists.
Yeah.
Goddamn.
But thanks for listening, guys.
Yeah, but and art historians.
Oh yeah, that's true.
That's probably number one on my list.
Art historians, yeah.
Art historians.
Yeah, are there like any interesting art historians doing a podcast? I'd like to know that because most of them are just like kind of just giving you the facts about people.
Yeah, or that art
Or like the
attack lady.
perceived facts at least.
Wait, was that art attack lady even art historian?
Yeah. Well, on paper, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
She went to school for all that shit. Yeah.
Yeah. Whatever she is the worst.
Yeah.
whatever she is the worst person to talk about. Oh God.
There are good art talkers and bad art talkers.
Yeah. Yeah. Other than that, I got. Oh, we had questions, right? Or did we not?
I mean, we had some.
God, we should probably write down good questions.
Yeah.
So I feel like I get random questions and I'm like, that's a pretty good question. Do you ever
I
get
know. I should do that too.
Do you ever get those like emails like where the people are like, "Oh, I'm going to do a like college paper on you. Can you?"
Oh, I used to sometimes.
Oh man.
Do you get that a lot now?
All the time, not right now, like all the time.
Oh, really?
I'm at the someone I don't know if I talked about this, but someone recently they were like, "Hey, can I do a report on you?" I didn't respond to this one because I just finished one the day before.
Yeah.
And I was like, I can't do one. Like, I better have a fucking degree in college after all these fucking art reports I'm writing about myself.
Yeah.
But she was like, "Oh, you were on the list, so I chose you." And I was like, "What fucking list?
Yeah.
Don't put me on a fucking list. I'm not trying to like."
I remember somebody, I think it was on Facebook or Instagram, was just like, "Dear art college professors, stop telling your students to email random artists."
But I do it like I feel like I do it. I feel like I do like maybe like 8 a year.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah. Bro, it's like you'll catch me in a mood. I'm like, all right, give me the questions.
I've maybe done like 1 or 2 of those in my life.
Oh, horrible person.
Yeah. Or just not as popular.
I just tell them. I just make sure at the end I go, just remember I did this. So when you're an art historian, that you can tell people that my art is great and people will believe you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But my point was that I recently did one, and I should have like pulled that up because it was actually, I think, a lot of like really good questions. I'm like, God damn, I should be asking artists this on my podcast.
Yeah, oh, nice. Pull up your email. Was it an email or?
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't know where the fuck it is. I was looking for it. It might have been like a month ago, so I'm like, I don't know where the fuck that thing is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we got some questions from a long time ago. I wish I.
Oh God, are you getting a lot of like Patreon keeps hitting me up?
No.
They're like, hey, you could make money. I'm like,
Well,
no,
I already
thank
have
you.
a Patreon account, so that's probably why.
What's that account?
I think it's just. I think it's at Sergio Lopez Fine Art.
Go support Sergio Lopez at Fine Art.
I don't ever update it anymore though, so probably not.
Okay, don't do that.
Yeah. Well, if you're expecting anything special out of it,
What were you offering?
just like archives of different videos and stuff, high resolution photos of paintings.
For sure.
Well, the one thing that I was doing that still, like, if you want to do this, this is actually probably the best reason to support was any amount that you pledge through Patreon will be store credit for me. So like, it's a way to kind of like finance a painting if you're interested.
You're a bank now.
Sure. A bank of art.
So it's like Sergio coin.
Yeah, exactly.
Surge coin.
Search coin. Yeah.
Huh.
Loop coin.
Could go to the moon. Nice. Have you made your NFTs yet?
I have not. Have you minted yet?
Is that really what they say?
I guess that's what it's called. Yeah.
That's hilarious. Like if you minted an actual coin.
Yeah. Well, like, I forget exactly how it works. I was like all about it for like a day, and then
Someone should make a butthole as an NFT, and then when they're like, I'm minting my coins, they should make a graphic of a butthole, just like stamping into metal.
yeah,
Just
that could be an NFT. Yeah.
that shit would go crazy. People would go crazy for that shit. They'd be like, I got the butthole NFT.
Yeah. Did you get into it at all?
Yeah. Me and my brother are playing around in it.
Oh, okay.
We haven't done anything yet, but
Yeah.
we're like bouncing around ideas, probably taking a stab at it, seeing how it goes.
Yeah.
It's just like a fun side project on top of the mountains of shit I'm supposed to actually be doing.
Yeah. Yeah.
God damn.
Between that and Pokemon Go.
Yeah, between that and Pokemon Go, I should probably be getting back on track.
Yeah.
But yeah. Yeah, I'm surprisingly a very productive human being.
Yeah.
I don't know how, especially after not having to go to work every day. It's like I can get so much shit done.
Right.
It's pretty magical.
Yeah.
Here's the trick, everyone: don't work. But yeah. Yeah, do you have any good questions?
Let's see. Here's one. Fiona Vander Knoll that's Fion. I don't know. Fionn. However you pronounce that.
That person.
Yeah. Would you guys ever do sculptural work? Do you think it might inform your painting?
Yeah, I mean, I have sculpture work like I feel like in my head for at some point doing. I mean, that's literally why I got into woodworking. I was like, I want to do wood sculptures at some point.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Yeah, but I just, it's like a big medium to take on. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's like, it's like if,
Oh, yeah. It's a whole
thing.
Yeah.
But it's definitely, I'm constantly collecting tools with the idea of like, this is for when I get into sculpting at some point. And like learning like little things, and like learning wood in general is a whole fucking thing. You know, learning how to not cause tear out and shit like that.
Yeah.
And then so yeah, at some point I definitely want to do some wood sculptures. I just bought two little wood sculptures recently. See those?
Oh, cool. Yeah.
I forget what they're called, but they're like Mexican things. Those like they're on the movie Coco. I forget what it's called, like Abugello or something. I don't. God, that was the widest sounding line. Abugelgo and G Willers. Abrijos or some shit like that. Is that what it's called?
I have no idea.
God damn it, Sergio.
That's why I was trying to avoid saying anything. Like, please do not ask me.
Sergio's like, yeah. Okay. But yeah.
You just way too white for me, homeboy.
Are you saying that to yourself, Sergio?
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, from like some lady who her brother carves them, and she paints them locally too. They're like,
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
and
They're pretty well done. Yeah. As far as I could see from here.
yeah, I was pretty stoked on them. But yeah, I would love to get into carving. I don't know. It's weird though, because like when I went to what's the Legion of Honors, I really noticed how little I paid attention to their like marble sculptures.
Me too. That's the thing for me about sculpture. I think for me, a lot of what the reason for me of like creating art is like I look at what other people do and I'm like, I want to do that. And I never feel that way about sculpture, really.
Yeah. I feel like I see some like modern sculptors that I really like.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, fuck, that shit is awesome. But then like, I don't, maybe it's just marble specifically, because it's like, there's something about it where I walk right past it. I'm like, oh, was that thing there? I didn't even fucking notice it.
Oh, I know. There's a lot of times I'm like, oh, I should have probably looked at the sculptures more, but I'm like, I want to look at the paintings more.
Yeah. So I don't know. But there's something about that. But there's definitely, I'm just assuming that maybe I'm just not into the fucking like the Renaissance style sculpture.
Maybe.
That kind of shit.
That's probably true.
It's just something that just doesn't do it for me.
Do you like Rodin, for example?
I mean, I
Not
used
quite.
to like him a lot when I was younger. But yeah, I mean, even that like the thinker that's like there in the front, like
Oh, sure.
I was like, oh, there's that fucking Rodin. That's crazy. But it was like, I don't know, it was more impressive to me when it was a flat image on a fucking, you know what I mean? Like
Sure.
on a like a picture I was viewing. So I don't know, maybe I got to go look at more sculpture and see like, maybe it's all like, because the sculptures I like, I'm just looking at them online.
Sure.
So maybe in person, I'm like, yeah, I kind of not into this at all. Maybe I should probably do that before I keep fucking collecting tools. With
Yeah,
the goal of creating a sculpture.
That's a good point. Yeah, I'm just thinking like I don't have anything in mind that I would think, oh, I would rather sculpt this than like paint it. So that's part of the reason why I'm like, but like I did it a little bit in school, like as like class assignments, and I enjoyed it. Like I enjoyed the like how you're able to just like make form that like actually looks like something like out of clay or whatever. And
you did a lot of dicks.
Exactly.
Like, look at it, another one, guys. I'm really good at this.
Gotta earn those A's somehow.
Just a tube that you curve.
Very textural detail on this one, though.
It's like, see, here's what you do, guys. And everyone's like, I don't need to know. You make a tube. Step one, make a tube. That's a TikTok video.
Yeah.
If it wouldn't be censored.
Yeah, exactly. He's gonna say.
But yeah.
But yeah, it's like what you're saying. It's a whole different discipline. It's like I kind of look at it almost like if I saw a really good painting in like pastels or something like that. It's like it's really good. Like I respect the skill in creating it, but I don't necessarily feel the urge to like go break out some pastels or clay or whatever when I see it.
Yeah. Yeah. Although I do enjoy playing with wood. So maybe, I don't know. I'm still not saying I'm not going to do it. I also like making my little like house props. I like,
sure.
I think for the Lunar End show, I'm going to do like piles of houses for as like a part of my show.
Like almost like an installation.
Yeah, but like little like I don't know, maybe like not super small, but not super large. And I want to make them out of like different materials if I can.
Okay. Are they going to be just like displays, or they're actually going to be like works of art that you're selling?
I think I'll make them for sale. Why not? I'm not going to want them back, probably.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, I want to make like concrete ones, like a bunch of like little molds, and then make concrete houses, and then pile them up, and then do like rusted metal versions. You know, like that like brown iron metal that everyone like.
Oh, sure. Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I can do that on this one, but if I end up enjoying doing this thing, then I'll like maybe in the future see if I can either learn or have someone make the houses for me.
Yeah.
I have a buddy that I know he could do it. Maybe I could do it. Maybe I can get him to do it for me.
Nice.
We'll see.
Like a machinist type of person? Or?
Yeah, exactly.
That's cool.
But yeah. So yes, I might do some sculptures, I guess, this year, I guess.
Nice. Well, we answered that question there. This person wants to be anonymous. My art professor makes racially insensitive art, and doesn't understand help. Well, first of all, we support that here at Wavy Dry. So
He does racially insensitive what?
Art, and
Like
doesn't
how?
understand help. I don't
There's
know.
no like specifics.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
I would need more context.
Yeah, I don't really understand this question. Like, what are we supposed to do with it?
I don't know how it I don't know how it would be, because that's based on this person's like sensitivities, it sounds like.
Sure. Yeah.
So like they might find it racially insensitive, but I don't know. Like I don't know enough about this.
Yeah.
Yeah, we would need more info.
Right. Yeah. I don't know. I don't even know exactly what you need. Like, you want help to make him understand that his art is racially insensitive. I mean, that's the best guess at interpreting your question here, but I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Even if that were the case, I don't know how to help with that.
I mean, couldn't he have a conversation with his? I don't know. Like, I don't know his situation either. If he could
Right.
like have a conversation, and be like,
Right.
"What's your intentions? Like, why do you create what you create? What's the intention? What's the?"
Right. Yeah.
And then if it does end up being like, "Oh, it's because I don't know, think I'm a superior race or some shit like that," then I think there's like. Some validity to what you're saying, and that you need to probably take some action of some sort to be like, I think he's an actual Nazi. But if it's like, for instance, the artist Barry McGee, right? He had this character he would always draw, and people were like, "Oh, this is This is offensive to Asian people. It's a stereotype against Asian people."
Okay.
And he was like, "This literally is the drawing of me. Like this is how I looked as a kid and how people would pick on me." And he's Latin, but he has like Asian features. You know, like
sure.
native
Yeah.
Latins. So you're like, so it was like this idea that people were offended by what he was creating.
Yeah.
But it's like, but that wasn't his intention. It's actually even about him and how he was bullied.
Sure.
But
yeah.
like it's based on what you think the intention of the artist is, but you might be wrong. I just don't know enough about this question, like this professor.
It's just too little bit of info to go on off of.
Yeah. But yeah, I would say probably try to have like, not like a threatening conversation, but like see if you can get more information out. And then if, unless it's like very clear, you know what I mean? I don't know. Like, can you think of an artist that might be like racially offensive? Or wait, how do they?
Yeah, my art professor makes racially insensitive art.
Yeah, like are
they making like blackface? Like, are they painting people in blackface or something
Yeah.
like that? Is that what?
I don't know.
Or like, I don't know.
That's
Like old school cartoons I'm trying to think of. It's like kind of what I think of when I...
Could you think of any artist that you like that you know of that someone might actually take it that way?
Not racially, but I know like Colin Chillag did those paintings of like mentally disabled people. And people gave him a lot of shit for that. But I feel like he had an explanation for why he was doing that. I don't know if he's ever like done anything racial though. Maybe he has. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I know he's done like a Jewish woman, but he's Jewish. I know like his like brother or like someone in his like very close family is like has Down syndrome. But I think like most of his portraits are like very like candid, like almost like Americana type images.
Right.
So like I don't think they're trying to be offensive. Although I think it was like a Jewish mom is what he painted, and it was like it was based off of his mom.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know, like I don't know, like maybe someone's offended by that. I don't know, like I'm sure like it could be, but I don't know if it's. I don't necessarily think it's valid, assuming like if his mom, if he's Jewish, then you're like, all right, well, it's like if I painted a Tongan mom. Based on my mom, and people got offended, like I don't give a fuck. That's my mom,
Right? Yeah.
Like, that's my experience. Like, but what you know what I mean? But
Right. Yeah. If it was a thing like, say you painted her like you caricaturized her in some way, and people are like, "Oh, you're like making fun of Pacific Islanders." And you're like, well, no, this is actually like kind of how I feel about my mom or something. I don't know. Whatever sort of.
I know
thing you would
people
have.
went at Findak. Did you see that?
Oh. I didn't see it, but I could see maybe along the lines of what it might be about.
So maybe that. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's probably the closest thing I could think of. Is like someone who's just like I don't know.
Yeah, it's just not enough.
It's such a complicated conversation because. You start having to like have conversations around like potential fetish, and is fetish something people are allowed to have or not, and all these conversations, and it's like and then also like assuming he is attracted to a certain race, is that offensive or not? Like I don't know the fucking answers to these questions. Me personally, I have my opinions on them. Like I don't think it's wrong if someone's like attracted to a certain race, or like height or shape or whatever. Like you know what I mean? Like to me, it's like I'm not gonna sit here and be like, you can only fucking fuck whatever. You have to fuck everyone equally. You know what I mean? Like,
sure, yeah.
I don't know. I even if I don't even think that's real. Like, I think everyone kind of has, whatever they're attracted to. I don't know how that gets created or if it's just built into you. But I'm not about to judge anyone for that because to me they're not really hurting anyone.
Sure.
So I don't know. That's the closest thing I can find is Findak, and his.
Yeah, I don't know enough about that.
But yeah, in my opinion, talk to your professor. Maybe I don't know. See if you can figure out. I don't know. Maybe you're wrong. Maybe you're not. I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
Be open to the idea that you might be wrong.
Yeah.
And then try to find more information and see if you have a legitimate reason for why you think what you think.
That's probably the best advice just in general. Figure out if you might be wrong or not.
Yeah. Be open to that idea.
Yeah, be open to that idea.
Yeah. But yeah. All right. Is that the only question?
Let's see. Here's one. Paul Day asked, do you feel the pressure to wear multiple chains all the time? I'm not. Was this a reference based on 2 Chainz? Something? I guess. I don't know.
It got me a few of them.
I guess. I don't know.
Do I ever? Wait, who's it?
Paul Day Art.
Oh, God. I don't know the reference. No.
Okay.
No.
Got a couple of pencil questions.
Oh, motherfuckers.
Feodomas, y'all are still doing this?
Stop acting like you don't want to come back on.
Why are you guys so awesome? Where do you see yourself in 5 beers? Hello, Nico Chan.
5 beers? Not buzzed yet.
I see myself fucking faded, bro. Step up here. Question.
I know we can't crowdsource our content.
Yeah.
Like
Hey guys, just wanted to put in a quick little edit into this podcast because I realized afterwards that I had not answered a question that was asked to me in person rather than through the proper channel. So the question was from Compass Rose Artistry, who asked, do cats know what color they are? And Josh is not here to answer this question, so maybe I'll ask him on the show next time we record. But I read somewhere that cats' vision, they can only detect changes in light. Like, so you don't see anything unless it's moving or light is moving across it in some way. So, by that token, they might know what value they are on the value scale, but not what color they are. Cats only see in black and white, and they can only see things that are moving. Hope I am right about that, and I remember that little factoid correctly. But if not, then correct me. Okay, back to the show.
Like, it's like a Mythbusters when they're like, if anyone's got any ideas, please, guys, we're out of fucking ideas.
Right. Yeah.
Please give me an idea of what we could talk about.
Right.
Or else I'm going to just talk about storytelling forever.
Yeah. Storytelling and good versus bad art. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Do you think you have a clear line when it comes to...
It's one of those things, it's almost for me like I know it when I see it kind of
Right.
thing.
Yeah.
So it's hard for me to like I don't have like a real like line in the stone. I don't know if that's a saying at all. But
the sand, Sergio, sand.
that's right. Yeah, a line in the sand.
And the little stones.
Yeah, it's called sand.
I don't have a... Oh my God, Sergio.
Title. But yeah, like, because Vanessa and I were kind of talking about this not too long ago, where we were like trying to figure out like what makes art good, and there's like too many different criteria as to what people judge that by to like make a definitive statement on like this art is bad objectively. But it's like, if you think about it, if you're talking about it like your opinion, but you're making a definite statement about your opinion, then that's one thing. But to like try and tell like the world at large, like this is objectively a bad piece of art, it gets kind of tough to do that a lot of times.
I don't know. I feel like it's pretty easy for me to do that. Jackson Pollock. I think Jackson Pollock is objectively bad.
Yeah.
That's my opinion. And I'm willing to talk to someone that disagrees and try to prove them wrong. And
Yeah.
they could try to prove me wrong.
Have you ever had anybody try and do that?
Well, I just feel like people, when they talk about Jackson Pollock, and I usually say it sucks, and they go like, oh, well, and then they try to give the reasons why they think it's good.
Okay.
And, it just never sways me. But
What are their arguments? Do you even remember them?
well, some people bring up that fucking thing where it's like, where the closer you get to it, the more like it becomes more things. What is that called? fractal or whatever.
Oh, okay.
They try to bring up fractals and shit like that, and like.
But was that even his intention, though? That's the
No.
thing. Yeah.
No. And God, I can't remember all of them. I don't know. Like I think moods and things like that.
Okay.
But I'm like, I think he did it really bad, and I think his palettes are kind of trash.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably because it was like whatever bucket of paint was lying around.
Right.
But yeah, I don't know. It's one of those things where I feel like it's like it's like people like to attach whatever purpose they want to art, and I feel like anyone can do. Like I think we might have talked about this before, but like maybe we didn't. I don't know. But like so did we? God, I actually think I have this written down as like a topic or like something I wanted to talk about. Here we go. God damn it. Where is it? It's about did I talk about Manic Monday before?
No, I don't think so.
So MJ thinks that, you know, the song Just Another Manic Monday?
By who?
It's like, just another manic Monday. I wish it was Sunday. It's like a super classic song.
Let me see if
It's
I
like
can find
80s, like pop classic song.
it. Okay.
It's been in like movies, and it's one of those, you know. So MJ, every time that song comes on, she sings, "It's just another man named Monday."
By the Bangles. Okay.
You know, slapper roll.
I don't want to find the.
But you don't know that song.
I'm sure I've heard it.
But so MJ,
I'm not like an 80s guy. Okay, guys.
just be, you know what I mean? Just be cultured, Sergio. Just be cultured.
Yeah.
Just know cultured music like Manic Monday songs. So, but MJ, she growing up, she thought it meant, the lyrics were just another man named Monday.
Okay. Yeah.
Let me see.
Classic MJ.
And so the meaning she attached to it was that it was a guy who was sweet to a girl on the weekends,
Okay.
but then when Monday came around, he would like ignore her.
Sure,
Or,
okay.
Right. And
That's
so
funny.
this is what the song meant to her.
Yeah,
Right.
okay.
Just like when a motherfucker reads a painting and goes like, "This is what the painting means."
Yeah.
And then they go, "Oh, art's subjective." Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
And then so then you find out the intention of the artist, right? And and so many people, I feel like they're kind of dismissive about the intention of artists, or they go like, "Oh, well, it could mean whatever you want." I always hate
Right,
that,
yeah.
You know? I mean, I've talked.
Yeah, that's
about
what we were talking about on the last mini. So
right. And so I don't think I brought up this point, right?
No.
But it's like this idea that like MJ has this idea of what the song means. And then I'm like, well, it doesn't mean that.
Yeah.
It means this.
Yeah.
Manic Monday.
Yeah.
And she's like, what does manic even mean? She wasn't like familiar with the word manic.
Oh, okay.
Another uncultured human being.
Yeah.
Read. and so I'm like, it just means like chaotic, like frantic or whatever. Like it's just
Sure.
But I'm like, that's what it's about. And so, but she's like, she was like a bit stubborn when we were talking. She's like, I like my meaning better. And I'm like, but that's not what the song means.
Right. Yeah.
And I feel like this is the conversation that gets had around art.
Right.
Because it ends up being so loose around the edges. You know what I mean? And the phrase, it is whatever you want it to mean, gets tossed around by artists.
Yeah.
Like a fucking wild man. Like they all
Sure.
just don't want to commit to whatever the fuck their art means.
Gets thrown around all manically and shit.
Yeah, manically. And so, to me, it's like, the intention is important. It's super important. Like the meaning behind the work does add a ton of value, and it should, and you shouldn't be committed to being like, well, it means this to me, so you can't change what it means to me. It's like,
Right.
it's like, all right, well, this shit, like, fuck off. At the end of the day, that's how it feels like. It's like, it's not a man named Monday. It's not about some fucking dude. You know, like, you misinterpreted the artwork is what that ends up being.
Yeah.
So be open. Back to the other question. Be open to being wrong sometimes. And not, you know, like being so stubborn and being like, well, the work means this to me. I think artwork in general can have an association based on like memory. So like,
Sure.
you know, songs attached to a time in your life, they can have that. But I don't think it changes the meaning of the song. It means something to you in that like it's attached to a part of your life. You know, if you had a painting in your house your entire life, you know, when you see that painting, like if it's like a print of like, I don't know, like everyone has or do you ever see people that had that like, there's that I think it was Latin painter who like, he had like the lady and it was like her back and she had like all the flowers like laid out or whatever. You don't like the white, I forget what the fuck those flowers are called.
Yeah. I think lilies. Yeah.
Yeah. Something like that. And it's like,
it's like in every taqueria, basically.
Yeah. And it's like if you grew up with that fucking painting in your house, every time you go to a taqueria and you'd see it, it would like, it would be somewhat attached to your childhood.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like there's that part of art that it's like, it's like engraved into time when it comes to human beings. But that doesn't change the intention of the artist. You know, that doesn't change the meaning of the artist. Like, if you watch the concert, you know, with like your high school love and then you guys are married or whatever, and 30 years down the road, the song comes on the radio and you remember that fucking concert, like, sure, that's what that song means to you as far as like memory, but it's not what the song means. You know what I mean? It's not like, you know, I don't know, Kissed by the Rose on the Grave.
Yeah.
Obviously, someone's out there, someone's probably married that went to a Seals concert.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. What was the point of this shit? Just, or how did we start this shit?
I don't know. Well, I think it was about like the idea. Well, I mean, it kind of circles back to when we brought up originally that idea versus intention, I think, or intention versus interpretation, I think was the thing. And
it was about saying art is shitty or something like that, right?
Oh, was it about that?
I think that's how we started. We got segued.
Oh, okay.
A couple times. We took a couple lefts.
I see.
And now we're back around the block.
But that whole thing, I think the reason I originally brought that up was because somebody was talking about a movie that somebody had or that people were having this different interpretation of, and then the director came out and said, no, that's not, this is what I actually meant. And the people were just like, no, I think I'm just going to stick with my original idea.
You had this conversation, you know, Juan?
Yeah.
I had that conversation with him about Forrest Gump. We had like,
oh yeah,
I don't know, like like three, or maybe like 2 or 3 conversations, like totaling probably like 10 hours about Forrest Gump. Where he said like, Forrest Gump is like conservative propaganda. And I was like, I don't think that's true. Well, I think we ended up agreeing that it wasn't. But one of the conversations, so we had one conversation for like hours, and then the next time I saw him, I was like, I like looked into it, and the director and everyone was like, no, that wasn't our intention. Like the writers and directors or whatever, I was like, that wasn't our intention. Like they addressed that thing, and I was like, they addressed it, and he was like, well, that's not proof to me. I'm like, okay. That is proof, or at least that's evidence to take in and be like, well, they said it wasn't like that. But it's like, yeah, there's that like unwillingness to like but yeah, that
Yeah. Well, I guess for me, what was annoying about that was like when somebody is insistent that they're right about something that they're
like if someone's insisting that Jackson Pollock sucks. No, I mean, yeah, I think it's fine to like have an opinion. It's just you have to be open to like the facts of the thing.
Yeah. Well, no, that's just arguing like an opinion against an opinion. I just more mean like when somebody's presenting to you a fact and you're like,
Right.
oh no, my opinion is actually what matters in
Right.
this situation.
Yeah. I think, and I think that's that's what you have to take in the case. And I think that's why nothing sways me when it comes to Jackson Pollock is because it's like, I think his intentions weren't like honest and weren't
Right.
like they weren't like they weren't to create good art but to create something to cause attention based on a gimmick is my opinion.
Yeah.
And then try to like sling that that gimmick as genius when I don't think it was.
Yeah. And it seems like it's other people putting intent on his work than him, which
Right.
is also like something that's annoying.
Yeah.
Or, well, I mean, like annoying in his case, because I don't think he was ever trying to really tell a story or present an opinion or anything like that through his art. But
Sure.
I don't know. At least that I haven't heard him like or read anything about him saying that he was trying to do more.
You haven't heard him because he's dead, Sergio.
Well,
He's dead.
he is.
Yes.
I thought him and Betty White were still married.
He is Betty White.
Yeah. Holy shit.
If Jackson Pollock was Betty White, best artist alive.
Yeah, exactly.
Best artist alive. He faked being Betty White as a performance piece for 90 years. Best artist alive.
Another waiting to dry exclusive.
But yeah. I think I don't know. I think we keep circling around the same points.
Right.
That art sucks.
People talking about art sucks too.
But yeah, was there any other questions? What the fuck
not
was the
really.
question that got us there? Was it like,
I don't know if it was actually a question that got us there, to be honest. Where do you see yourself in 5 beers? No, that's not it. That was the last question we got, though.
But yeah, in 5 years, though, on a serious note, 5 years, I hope to have a white picket fence, to finally be married, have 3 children, maybe little Josh running around.
What'd you name him, Josh Jr.?
I hope to travel to work in a hot air balloon. And
Have your own chocolate factory?
like works that way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like fucking balloon, not again. Have my own chocolate factory. But yeah. So what do you got planned, Sergio, for the rest of the week?
This week.
Oh wait, you watched a show I watched. What the fuck are we even talking about? on this show?
Yeah. I didn't know you would be interested in watching that show, to be honest.
Why not?
It's Marvel, and you don't like most Marvel things.
I don't, except for Endgames, and well, the one before the one. I assume everyone's watched
Infinity
those.
War?
Infinity War.
Yeah.
And those 2 movies I thought were really good.
Okay.
I thought they somehow magically figured out how to make a good movie.
Yeah.
It actually made me go back and watch another movie, and I was like, nope, they suck.
Which one did you try?
Ultron.
Oh, that's the worst one. That's why.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, all right, let's watch this fucking Ultron movie. Went back and watched it and I was like, nope, full trash.
Yeah.
Full trash. I've watched a couple other ones that were like fun to watch, more entertainment than art.
Sure.
Like the Ragnarok one.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's
I
a
like
fun
that
one.
And then the one where the guy's like Batch Cumberbund. What the fuck's his name?
Batch Cumberbatch. I mean, you're not that far off, really. Benedict Cumberbatch. Yeah.
Benedict Cumberbatch. You got a fucking name. God damn, his parents are fucked up.
Yeah.
He sounds like a fancy article of clothes.
Right. Yeah. A batch of cumberbuns. Yeah.
But yeah.
I didn't watch that one actually.
That one I kind of liked, I think. But
Do you like any of the Guardians of the Galaxy
I
ones?
like those ones. I like the first
Those are
one.
fun.
I can't remember if I like the second one.
Second one was all right.
Which one does Groot
Was he?
becomes like a thing? Where he like protects them by sacrificing himself.
That's the first one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I fuck with that one.
Yeah. The second one, he was like a little like shitty kid.
Yeah, I wasn't really. I don't think I was that into the second one as much.
Mm-hmm.
But what can you do? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, I like that one.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I like some Marvel. They're fun to watch. They're hard to watch because I usually watch things when I'm painting or drawing.
Yeah.
And those movies, like if you want to realize how little talking goes on in those movies, try painting and watching one.
That's a good point.
You realize that, like, oh, it's been like 40 minutes, and I don't think I've heard anyone say anything because it's just like you'll hear people say things like, "Coming on your left side," or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, there's very little talking.
Uh-huh.
God, the fucking what is that? I watched. Was the one with like all the Batman or Suicide Squad?
Oh, okay.
That's not even Batman. No, Suicide Squad. I watched that. That is the biggest pile of shit I've ever seen in my entire life. It is
I just took everyone's word for it and skipped it.
It's just a trailer.
Really?
Like not even like it, you might want to watch it just to realize how much money Hollywood has. They could just throw a pile of cash at a piece of trash and just remember that, like, entertainment pays, creating art does not.
Damn.
So yeah, fuck, it is literally just like it's like I'm sure there's like a Queen song on there, like all like the like you know, like I don't know, that fucking what's the not the Doors, the End, is it the End, is that
That's the Doors, right? This is the end.
no, I'm thinking I can't remember the other band I'm trying to think of. The Who. Yeah, I'm sure there's
okay.
like a Who song on there.
Sure.
And like there's all these like big anthem songs on there, and then it's just like slow walking. Like that's the whole fucking thing, really. Slow walking and anthem songs. It's so bad, and it's weird because what you should do is you should watch it with a group of people who haven't seen it yet,
Okay.
and then at the end ask everyone, be like, oh, what'd you guys think of that? And then whoever says they liked it, write their name on list and never respect their opinions again. It is universally a pile of shit. Even though the fact that people like it means it's not universal, but they, you know, I mean, they're not human.
You should respect their hustle, though. DC.
I always respect the hustle. But yeah, the worst. It's I don't know. I guess it's like what you might expect when when YouTube is probably the leading thing people consume nowadays.
Mm-hmm. Right.
That's so yeah, it's just it is just so bad. I can't. Yeah. But
I feel like I'll just take your word for that.
all right. If you don't want to waste your time, then that's your loss, not mine. If you don't want to throw, I don't know however long that movie is. I feel like it felt like 2 minutes and 3 hours
Yeah.
at the same time.
Yeah.
God, it's one of those things where like I watched it because we were watching a movie with a group of people back when that was a thing.
Mm-hmm.
and they all chose. They were like, "Oh, Suicide Squad," and I was like, "All right, just watch Suicide Squad."
Yeah.
And I think it was either that or Sausage Party,
Oh, okay.
which also wasn't that great, but at least it was kind of funny.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
um,
Did you have anything you wanted to say about WandaVision?
oh yes, what'd you think about that?
At first, I was like, I don't know if I like this show or not, but I can't stop watching.
Yeah, at first I literally stopped watching it.
Yeah.
I started it. I watched the first episode, maybe halfway through,
Uh-huh.
and I was like, I can't do this.
Yeah.
So I turned it off.
Yeah.
And then I saw like an image of it that was colored, and I was like, oh, I thought the whole thing was going to be in black and white
Uh-huh.
and just like be this thing forever. And I
Yeah.
was like, I can't commit to this shit.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what it is about black and white, but it really is like pulling teeth sometimes with me in watching black and white. I don't know why that is. It's like same with cartoons, like those two things. I can watch cartoons, but it gets really hard sometimes. And then black and white like movies, like I don't mind like old black and white things as much as I don't like new black and white things.
That makes a lot of sense, actually.
Like when something's new and it's black and white, I'm like,
But it's still like filmed digitally. It's like, this
Yeah.
doesn't, this is not supposed to happen.
yeah, like it's like you guys suck at using black and white. You guys are trying to use it, and it's not like in like a cool.
It's true, yeah.
Like, ooh, we're so cool. We're doing black. And like, it's not even like. It's not as good. That one, like Lighthouse movie. Did you watch that one?
Oh, no, I didn't yet.
That one was good.
Was it black and white?
Yeah, it was black
Okay.
and white. That one, you know what I'm talking about, right? With
Yeah.
Willem Dafoe
Yeah. And
and
what's his face?
Edward or whatever.
Yeah. Vampire guy.
Vampire guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I will never not be vampire guy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, what's his name is always going to be Harry Potter, so
yeah.
get used to it, guys.
Yeah. But yeah, I think they used black and white all right. Like they did interesting things.
Oh, okay. This is a movie called Nebraska that did black and white well, too.
I watched that. Yeah, it was a good movie. Yeah. Look at you watching movies and shit, Sergio. You're finally getting cultured.
I watched that pre-podcast starting, so
Okay.
I shouldn't get too much credit for that.
So you decided to stop watching stuff
Yeah.
once,
Yeah,
once you
exactly.
had a podcast.
Right. Not enough time in the day.
You're just like, I'm only me and football.
Yep. Tough choices had to be made.
But yeah, I liked it a lot actually.
Yeah, it got more and more interesting
Yeah.
as it went along. Because like those first couple episodes, you're like, I don't know, why am I gonna keep going with this?
I actually thought I thought it like I think midway through the first episode, I started really liking it.
Oh, really?
And then I think I liked it less by the end, but I liked it.
Oh, okay.
Like I liked the jumping through like sitcom periods.
Uh-huh.
But then at the end, it starts like losing that.
Oh, right.
And it starts becoming, but then I thought there was like interesting. It's like when you're trying to figure out like exactly what's going on, you know, like when like because like the lady starts freaking out or something like during the first episode, and you're like, what's going on? And then
Right.
because you know, I should probably stop talking. I just realized this is like a new show.
Oh.
Spoiler alert-ish. But hopefully people, I forgot that. I hate when people talk about shit I haven't watched on podcasts
Yeah.
as well. So I'm like, oh fuck, I just did it. Well, yeah, go watch it. I liked it.
Yeah.
You
Yeah, I liked it.
liked it.
Yeah, I would say I give it a like. Not
Yeah.
love, but like.
Yeah, I would say something like that. But I hate probably like, what is it, Marvel? I feel like I would say 85% at the least of what they do. So
Yeah. Like they spend so much time and money on like fights basically, and
It's like fights and Easter eggs.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Because they love to have like the little details that no one knows about, and it like that's their way of being like, right? And you're like, but what about storyline?
yeah,
What about a good story though? Yeah, but yeah, they like that, like the big, crazy, intense fights for like the 10-year-old and all of us, I suppose.
I suppose so, but
And
I just don't need that.
I don't need it either.
Yeah.
I remember when Transformers came out, the first one. I was like, wow, that's amazing.
Right.
By the second Transformers, I was like, I already got that. I don't need it anymore.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
I get it. The fights, big fights. Cool. And then, yeah, so then after that moment, it's like I could use less fights and more story.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and then they just cram in as much like Easter egg detail. Do you ever watch those like YouTube videos where like all the Easter eggs in this thingy? And then in like Marvel, it's like this reference. It's like a little fucking like, I don't know, like a little thing on a table.
Right.
They're like, that thing was in the first Iron Man and this scene.
Oh, really?
Yada,
Oh,
yada. And you're
God.
like, oh, this saying, you're like, he said this, which is referring to like the fourth Hulk movie or whatever. And you're like, I can't keep track of this shit.
Yeah, I have no interest in any of that.
Yeah. And it's like, who watched the movie and was like, oh, there goes that little fucking pin from the first Iron Man. Cool. Like no one. But it's, I don't know. There's like this weird, even the people, like I've seen, because I saw this YouTube video and it said Easter eggs of the Age of Ultron. That's actually why I went back, because it said predicting the end games. I don't even know how they got on my YouTube, because I don't. And I clicked on it, and then it had all these like little like things proving the whatever, and it was just a bunch of that shit.
Yeah.
And the guy on the video, he was like, I watched Age of Ultron like however many times, like, and he's talking about it as if he watched it specifically to find as many Easter eggs as he could, not like
Yeah,
to
that
like
might be a
enjoy
thing.
it,
Yeah.
but just to like find these little things, and you're like, I don't know, I get for the 10 people that do this, I guess
Yeah.
it's fun.
Right.
I mean, maybe there's more, but I don't know. The detail that they put into these like super tiny obscure things, or I don't know the purpose. I mean, I get the purpose. I just don't think it's done right or done. It doesn't fulfill its intention, which is another thing with intention. Even if your intention, I think, is good, if you don't like actually accomplish it, then that's like another thing that I think it leads to art not being good. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. How are we doing on time?
That's a good question. Hour 42.
I feel like I just rambled for I don't know how long. I don't even know what the fuck I said. I actually never know what the fuck I say.
Yeah.
But today even more. I chugged a yerba mate right before we recorded,
Okay.
and that's why I'm scatterbrained as fuck.
Got anything else on your list? Or are we good?
Oh, wait, what are we on time?
Oh, hour 42?
Oh, all right. I think we're good. I can check if you want to keep talking a little bit more, but I did have one thing I want to talk about, which I should have probably brought up during the "What have you been up to?" question you asked me in the very beginning.
That's fine.
Which is I did the most terrifying thing I've ever done in my life recently, which is I got a coughing fit while in Target.
Oh, no.
So, as all of you guys know, coughing in public is probably the most terrifying thing you can do at this point.
Yeah.
I feel like there's like a inner struggle
Yeah, for sure.
where that cough is just like tickling at your throat, and he's like, "I'm here, bitch."
Yeah.
And you're like, don't do it. Don't you dare fucking do it. And then you cough, and then it's like the thing where you're back in high school and the people behind you are laughing, and you're like, is my butt crack showing? But it's kind of like that. It's like you think all the eyeballs are on you.
Right.
So you cough, and then you're like, it's like you feel like the cough echoed throughout the entire Target.
Yeah.
People just stopped, and they all just creepily like look at you, all in unison.
Yeah.
But this time I fucking, you know when you like, you ever get like, it's just kind of like you like breathe through the wrong hole or some shit. Like, you know what I'm talking about?
I know exactly what you mean.
And I just started
Like spit ends up somehow
in your fucking
windpipe,
breathing tube.
Yeah.
And then, but I coughed like I was at the checkout thingy, and that happened, and I coughed, and I was like, and she was asking me questions, and I couldn't breathe because I was trying so hard to not cough. While my body was like, you need to cough this liquid in the wrong tube out.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I can't. Like it was, yeah. So that happened. So back to your first question.
How did that end up going?
That's what happened.
Yeah.
I paid and like ran out of the Target. I was like,
Was MJ with you?
yeah. And she was just like, because it sucks too, because they have like a little water fountain by the bathroom.
Yeah.
But it's like, I can't pull off my mask and drink that water to clear my throat. So you're like, I don't know what to do other than just like get out of here as fast as I can.
Yeah.
So that I don't like make people think they have coronavirus. So, yeah. Yeah. I mean, coughing in public is already like such a dreadful thing, but having like uncontrollable coughs for like, I don't know, maybe it was like 3 minutes, but it felt like a whole year of my life in that moment.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was traumatizing. I don't know when we're ever going to get back to coughing in public.
Might be a thing of the past. Yeah.
Yeah. We're just going to
Yeah.
it really fucking sucks. Yeah.
So if that cough came out, you would like basically coughed on her.
Oh no, I was coughing on it. I was like, there was the plexiglass.
Oh, okay.
But
I thought you were like trying to stop.
I was trying to so hard, but it just kept coming.
Oh.
And I was just coughing. It just uncontrollable cough after cough after cough
Oh, okay.
in public. And I was like, God damn, I want to be canceled for this shit.
Yeah.
Maybe one of those videos, it's like the people that don't wear masks, you know, in a store.
Oh, yeah, 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 exactly.
It's like a public
You go
cough
viral,
area.
yeah, yeah.
Oh, God, fuck. I didn't want to. Uh-huh. How come you coughed in 1998 then? Or something like that.
You have to come on here, Chris D'Elia style, and apologize for your podcast.
Did he apologize for something?
Yeah.
Oh, for the little, like, DMing, like,
Yeah.
girls? Oh, yeah. I didn't see that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, yeah, maybe not like that.
Yeah.
Less like that.
Yeah.
But yeah. Yeah, MJ's a brave soul because she has allergies.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So she's like the last like week they've been horrible.
Yeah.
She just goes into fucking stores, sneezing and coughing, don't give a fuck.
Really?
I'm like, she's like, this is my life. That's always been my life.
Oh.
I just cough and sneeze wherever the fuck I please during springtime.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, goddamn. I'm like, can you just, I even tell her, I'm like, can I just go in the store and buy this stuff without you? I don't want to be around. I don't want to be associated with you during this time. You're a horrible person for coughing and sneezing in public, but she just fucking does it. She just lives her truth. You know what I mean? Yeah. YOLO.
Right. Don't hate.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Be happy for her success.
yeah. Yeah. She sneezed positive.
Yeah.
But yeah. So I forgot I wanted to talk about that. When it happened, I was like It's like, that was the worst thing that's ever happened to me. But yeah, that was.
Yeah. You should have brought it up when we were talking about death. You know what's worse than death, actually?
You know how bad my memory of what we talked about is.
You forgot that we
Like,
had talked about that.
when we talked about death, I'm like, I don't even remember talking about death.
Wow.
What part was what did we even talk about? Stupid. I honestly don't remember. What did we talk about?
It was about,
yes.
when somebody stops speaking your name. It's your second name.
Yep. Okay, now I remember. See,
Yeah.
but it's almost gone. It's like this was within the podcast time. By the time we hit tomorrow, I will maybe remember 5 minutes of what we talked about.
What part do you think you will remember the most?
That you watched Wanda Vision.
Yeah. I was going to say that's a joke, but I think you're right.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what I'll remember. Awesome. Well,
All right.
this has been Waiting to Dry. If you're still listening, fuck off.
Also, tune into my Zoom on Thursday if you guys are signed up for that.
Oh, yeah, sorry about that. Sergio.
Yeah.
I should probably ask if you had anything else.
Yeah, Sentient Academy is doing a little launch party for my gouache course. So if you guys want to...
Remember when people used to do that for parties?
Oh, yeah, unsa.
Bringing it back.
All right.